Oh shit.
Dun,
Dun, dun, dun, dun, dun, dun.
what the hell? Come on. Okay, I'm having
This is
technical
John's first
difficulties.
time on the producing.
I can't hide it. I can't hide it. It won't go away.
And I
There
just
it is.
can't hide it. I'm
All
about
right. Welcome, guys, to another episode of Jedi Academy. I am, as always, Jedi Master Tuck. I am joined by Padawan Frito, Noah Dell, and we have a guest tonight, Miss Abby from Motor City Nerds. How are we doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me. I don't want anybody to get too angry at my Star Wars knowledge. That's all I have. I think I know my stuff, though. I think I'll be okay.
I'm a
Yeah.
Padawan for a reason. I am still learning myself.
No, it's all good. Anybody, you can talk about Star Wars. Don't matter what you know.
I appreciate it. But I'm loving Mandalorian now.
Yes. We are going to get into that. Mandalorian, absolutely. We are going to get into the Bad Batch. And guys, exactly. Exactly. But we will see you guys in just a moment. All right, guys. So as always, please join our mission to 1,000 subscribers, guys. Please hit that like and subscribe button for us, and let us know what you think about our episode here tonight. But guys, let's get right into this. Bad Batch, Mr. Frito, Mr. Bell. What do we think?
On my synapses,
I haven't seen it. I will admit it.
Okay.
I haven't seen the episode yet. So you
Four out
guys
of
are
10.
the ones.
Out of 10, what would you give it?
Oh God,
4.
I already give it a 4. Okay, we'll see.
4.
I was going to be nice
to say 4
and give it a 5.
Yeah, no, 4. Like, okay, real quick. Overall, with the show episode and the entire season, so
give us a quick synopsis. What happened? Let's know what's
going on
about this episode.
Like, I'm very curious on. We have 3 episodes left into the season, and I still have yet to see a concurrent story. I just don't understand what the fuck's going on, and it's really frustrating because I was batting for this show so hard.
Yep. I love the first season, man, and everything I've seen from this season is just, it's going to be awesome when we tell you what happens, but we're not going to tell you what happens yet. Like,
my thing is,
fuck you, man. Like, come on, Filoni. Give me the meat.
The 16 episode season could literally be 8. I'm that serious.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the show, and again, it's just not doing it for me.
Dude, I don't understand. You have Omega, who is absolutely Boba Fett's sister.
Yes.
Omega is Boba Fett's sister. We know this is a fact. And right now, Boba Fett is available to play Boba Fett. Well, Jango Fett is available to play Boba Fett right now.
Yes.
So, we know that's who he would look like anyway. But what I'm saying is, how are you not taking advantage of the fact that we now have Boba Fett in current time and his sister in the past? Why are they not meeting somehow in the current time?
Yeah.
This doesn't make sense to me. Oh, I hope so. I think they've already cast her. I think they've already cast who it is.
Yeah, do you think they're saving it for, a whole other show?
I think it might be season 2 of Boba Fett. It could be season 2.
This season, instead of the Bad Batch, I think they should be called the Boar Batch, because that is what's happening with this show.
And it's unfortunate because they're really great.
People hype this up a lot. I'm not caught up on it, but everybody I knew that really loved Star Wars was like, no, Bad Batch, Bad Batch, Bad Batch, was really hyping this up. So to hear that people that love it are like, no, that sucks.
Look, I really did like the first season. I just think this, and again, it's not like the characters are bad. The characters are great. You know, I love all the characters and everything, but I just don't like the story. It just is. It's super slow.
You wouldn't.
It's Clone Wars, slowed down, which is weird for Filoni.
You wouldn't have to watch 1 through 16. I could give you probably the top 5 or 6 episodes, and you'd be golden.
Yeah. Right. When you're saying down to 8 episodes, 50% of it, that's a lot of shit. That's a lot of
this season.
This way,
right?
Yeah, the first season's great. I stand by the first season.
To put it to you this way, this season has 13 episodes, and I think 14 of them have had actual storyline to it that have gone together.
No, Yeah, and then how many of those episodes would you say were really good? Like 5 or 6 of them? Five or
Really
six,
good
I think?
episodes,
I'd
probably
say
5.
five at tops I've seen so
Okay.
far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did anybody major leave the production?
I don't know.
Like,
I don't
No,
or
I
did-
don't think Filoni is in the writers' room like he was on like Clone Wars and Rebels. Like Filoni was in the writers' room for sure on all those. He oversaw all those storylines. I think. I mean, what do you got to figure? He has the choice of playing with real life Mandalorians or animated, clones that really nobody cares about that. I mean, not that nobody cares about that story
Yeah.
anymore, but nobody really cares about that
I
story.
hope that he doesn't get burnout, because I always was saying, like, that's Kevin Feige's problem, is if he could
Yep.
find his Dave Filoni that he trusted 100% to just be like, you go do the series, I'll do the movies. I think Marvel wouldn't be suffering the way it is right now, and they wouldn't be wearing themselves too thin. So it just seems like, yeah, a lot's being put on one guy or a couple, and maybe we need to vet some other people to bring in that really love this to oversee things.
Yeah. See, if I was Marvel, I would have made a play at James Gunn.
They should have.
That was the
They-
Knowing
smartest
that
thing.
he was going to DC, I would have been like, we'll give you $1 billion. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like we'll give you fucking just not literally a bit, but like just whatever it is. Like we'll give it to you. Like we'll give it to you.
All right, guys.
That's
Anything
what it is.
else with the Bad Batch, or are we ready to talk about the main course of the meal?
All
today?
right, I'm ready to talk
Ready.
about this because this is Mandalorian overload and it's
Yeah.
right up my wheelhouse. I love this. And you know what? Mr. Vizsla that hasn't done shit with his clan in decades and hundreds of years needs to stop talking shit to Din like he does, because Din needs the respect. Those motherfuckers are hiding on a planet in a cave, and he's out pulling bounties still and shit, and everybody wants to kill him. And he's out there putting his life on the line still. Like he went to Mandalore, not
Don't
knowing
they?
if he was going to die or
Yeah.
not, just to bathe in
Yeah,
those
he just
waters
did
to get
that.
back in their good graces. Like I'd be like, man, you better stop talking to me like that.
Don't they know he
He's been
has the
Stop
dark?
talking
He's
to
been
me like that.
salty this whole time. He's been salty
They know he has the
whole
dark
series.
saber, right?
I know, and look, I get it. Vizsla
Yes,
clan has the ultimate rights to it. Like that is true. His family does have ultimate rights to, or at least challenging rights to the dark saber.
But as of right now, he's
as
not
of right now,
holding
yeah,
it.
for decades that clan hasn't done shit. It has been the priest clan, and it has been the other clan that they fought with that eventually became who is now the clan that he's part of, that Din's a part of. So
Now,
that's
okay. This
whatever.
episode, okay, the beginning of this episode was just the chase, right? Because can I just say something really,
Yeah,
really quick?
no, we can start from the beginning.
All right,
yeah.
all right,
I just
all
wanted
right,
to
all
get
right.
that in there.
Real
Yeah.
quick, what
I'm
would you
sorry,
guys give it
but
out
let me
of 1 to 10 scale rating score?
A 10 out of 1 to
Out
10,
of
10.
shit.
That's 10 for me.
I was gonna say the only
It's easy.
issue, I think it gets a little slow sometimes. I'm
Yeah,
gonna give
the
it an 8.
pacing for
I'm gonna
me.
give it, yeah,
Yeah.
8.5, and
Okay.
just because of the pacing.
Yeah, I
Okay.
would give
But
it
I
an
love
8.
all the
Yeah,
stuff.
that's fair. Yep, that's fair.
The only reason I like the middle part so much is because it felt like Clone Wars, but live action. And that's why I loved it so much. I will admit
That's
that.
a fair point. I like that.
It just felt like
I just felt like
a
a
Clone
couple
Wars
things-
Coruscant episode. Yeah, that's why I liked it.
There's
But
like I didn't mind it. I like going to Coruscant. I like seeing this. I like seeing not the Empire being bad. How like
Yeah.
his power changing. I really, really liked that a whole lot. But I wasn't on where I'm jumping way ahead of myself. But I didn't mind the middle part. I really did enjoy it. But there's a couple things where I was like, you could have cut this down. Running through the train.
Yeah.
oh yeah, I would agree with that.
You could have
Yeah,
cut
yeah.
a car out like 10 seconds. Just
Yeah.
little things like that where I'm like, just a little bit. But other than that, I really did like it. But one of the sickest things I think I've ever seen in a Star Wars chase was the ship wing turning like a Lamborghini door and turning
Yes.
around. That was sick.
yeah.
That was so cool. Because at first I'm like, oh man, oh, it's 52 minutes. Oh wow. And then I was like, oh snap. Things are really happening very quickly on the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wherever
so
they're
for
doing-
me, this episode starts
Yeah.
super strong, ends super strong, and again, I'm biased, but I love the middle because it just felt like Clone Wars and live action, and it felt like Filoni. It really just felt like Filoni, which is what I love about it. So
I really
Yeah,
like
the
this doctor character. I feel bad for him. That was jacked up. I was like, this is sad. They did a really good job making you feel for this guy, even though we're only with him in this tiny little part of this in the middle of the series. Like you made me care.
Oh yeah. The way it starts off, that whole TIE fighter scene, them fighting them off and getting away was so badass. And then by the time that they actually show Coruscant and like give the backstory between him and the chick, you could tell there was some like tension there. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to be seeing you.
Oh, she was using it. She was using
Yeah.
it against them. She was using it.
I
Yeah.
really like the
didn't-
way it cut from them like on their ships right into the other story. That just
Yep.
that like fading
yeah,
over to it. It was I
Mhm.
thought they did a really good job with it because I was like, oh wow, I
Yeah.
keep forgetting I'm watching The Mandalorian, but I don't mind this. But yeah, no, when they first start talking, I'm like, oh, what did you war criminals all do, and how bad are you, and why are you living here together in this
Well,
commune?
but I
What's
think
happening?
I actually think what you just said is funny because because Clone Wars has some of the worst cuts in it ever. So whoever like
Ooh.
directed and edited that was really bad. But again, I love it for what it is. But having Favreau as his basically director / editor is really interesting because, like you said, we get those really cool cuts into other scenes that, okay, I never thought
And
about it that
honestly,
way, but that is funny.
Star Wars isn't
How
that
many-
strong in the cutting department. In general,
Well,
it's
yeah,
very
they-
it's,
well,
it's
yeah,
either
it's-
you're on
yeah.
board with it or you're not. I love it. I love it. I think it's great. I think it
I
works
mean, how
for
do
it.
you cut from like people having lightsaber battles to Ewoks? Like, how do you cut from like, what do you
Fair,
do?
exactly. But I really thought I was like, whoa, we just seamlessly went into this, didn't we, over here? And I kept waiting for the Mandalorian to pop up somewhere, and I was like, oh no, we're
Yeah.
not going to do that, are we? We're having an internal story in this, which I think is cool.
Did anyone see that fucking twist coming?
I didn't.
I honestly didn't. No, I didn't. I'll be
I
honest.
did not fucking see
She's a
that.
No, I
weasel.
didn't.
Straight
Oh,
up, she fucking did that so sneakily. Gave him
Yeah.
the rations. It was like, hey, no,
Oh, that
listen,
girl is
I'm
good,
on
man.
your
Whoever that
side.
actress is, she's
I'm on
really
your
good.
side. And then
Yeah.
fucking
Well-
just turned up the voltage on that shit. Just
Yeah.
fucking.
That's
No,
what I'm saying.
well,
He
I'm
did
like-
something to her, man. He did
So
something to her.
I don't think that. I don't think that at all. I
No,
think
she's
that
following
you
orders.
work for the Empire. You work for the Empire. and you
Nobody's
don't want to be
there though.
secret.
She did it while she was alone. She waited till that guy left
You
the
have
room.
no idea
to do
what
it.
you
That
That
was
nobody
personal,
gets
dude. That was
Empire
personal.
secrets. That's what I think. I think she wanted to.
But
She
I
knows
think
how much
That
that doctor
might be,
knows,
yeah, okay.
and
I
she wanted to
think
wipe
that-
his brain.
Mhm.
I think that she's been in contact with Moff, like, because
Hey.
I thought like in the beginning they were going to sneak together to go back to Moff to continue the cloning stuff, but maybe Moff, because he's a higher up, after maybe he had insight to the plans that like once Sidious was dead, clean it, get rid of everything, and like because those two were close.
Well, that's what
He
he
told
says he's
her
doing
like
at his job.
get
He's
rid
deleting
of.
shit. I know. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but because he has the knowledge, he's a threat, and they don't want him, or at least the dark side people, they don't want him to use it. So Moff's like, get rid of him.
Yeah, but he has that knowledge. That's all his work. He's the doctor. He did all the work. He already had the knowledge.
But they don't want anybody else
want
to
anybody else
have
to get
that
it.
But
knowledge.
I don't
yeah.
know why give him the job and why not just kill him in the first place then? That doesn't
Yeah,
make
that's
sense.
like my thing too. Is
Make-
like I don't
Oh, to see
understand that.
what equipment they would need. I bet you it's to see what type of equipment they would need, and that's why she takes the case at the end.
Ooh,
What
that's
what
a
is
good.
the minimal amount we need? Now I don't know if anybody else noticed this, but they pulled a total
Oh
Jesse.
man, yeah, it's so
They pulled a
obvious now.
total
You're
Breaking
right.
Bad. They were like, we need to create a lab
Yeah.
that can move, and I was like, are we getting an RV? And then I was like, oh, because we're all about to go work for Gus Fring, and I was like, that's about to happen. And honestly, I don't know if they did that on. There was like a couple lines they said about like a lab moving, where I was like, are you doing this on purpose? Are you? Because I
That's
feel like we're pulling a
That's
crazy.
white here.
crazy. I just can't believe
That
I
is
just
so
saw that.
awesome that they
That's a
did do that
Great
as
observation. Good.
Yeah.
Kudos.
Well, that's all I could think. I was like,
that would make
this is-
total sense if she didn't know exactly what they needed to do it and she used him to get that information from Moff Gideon and he
Yep.
gets it for her and everything. Yeah. That's
But
a
Breaking Bad
total
is what
Filoni
brings
move
them
too. That is totally
together.
Filoni.
But where else are they going
Yeah.
to find somebody with that kind of knowledge, though?
The Kaminoans.
That's what I kept
There's-
thinking.
they
Breaking
only
Bad
have the
after
one
that
left,
was
though.
like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're gonna the Kaminoans. That's the only way
They
they
killed
can
them all though in Bad
Yeah.
Batch, remember? There's only two
Not
left.
all of them. Nope. Not
when
all of
is
them.
Bad
They're
Batch
still
taking
scientists.
place?
Huh?
Where's Bad Batch on the timeline?
It's right after Order 66. So
Yes.
well, probably now about 2 or 3 years.
So
after
yeah,
Order.
right around the time of the
Okay.
new yes. So that would be they're gonna fucking meet up.
Yeah. Of
We're gonna
course.
get watched. They're gonna fucking
Oh no! Well, this is right now. If from Mandalorian, this is 25 years. There's at
Is
least
it?
25. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
because because 3 years after Order 66, Luke and Leia would have been 18, which is when they meet Obi-Wan. That's episode
Okay.
4. And
But
then
then
4, 5, and 6 is about 3 to 5 years, people say. So that's it. And then Mandalorian
How much
starts.
does Anakin jump in time? How old is Anakin supposed to be in the Phantom Menace?
Phantom Menace, he's 10.
Okay. So it's okay. So I'm like, where
Yeah,
are
I
we
think
at?
he's around 50. He's around 50 years old when he dies. I know that. He's around 50
that
years
works.
old. Yeah, so or no, I'm sorry. No, actually he's younger than that. He's 18. So no, yeah, he's about 50. Yeah, he's about 50.
I guess I didn't realize how young Luke is in the original. I don't know why I thought he was old.
Right. Yeah,
he's
Luke's
like a child.
18. He just turned 18, right? Because he wants to go to the academy.
He's like a kid. Yep. He wants to go be a pilot and whatnot. Okay, it's all coming back. Sorry, guys. I'm like, my head's
And
on
then
fire.
Mandalorian.
I'm like,
Mandalorian in the first episode is 8 years after episode 6. So you figure that's another. Yeah. So from Bad Batch,
the
we're
Empire
25.
recently. Honestly, that's one of my favorite parts about the Mandalorian is saying like, okay, look at we all still live. I mean, that adds to like the gunslinger thing, but it's just like it's lawless out here. Like no matter who's in charge, Empire, the Republic, it don't matter. Like it's lawless, and all it is to us is transfer power. And I really like them just showing that. I really think they do that very well. I really like that. That's really cool. Even here, like I said with Coruscant, it's like there's something. It's like the Stepford Wives. It's like there's something unnerving going on here. And the whole time I was like, ladies.
Well, after he gives his speech, that one dude comes up to him and he's like, what does he say to him? He's like, oh, Empire or New Republic.
New Republic, whatever
I can't keep up anymore.
Yeah, I
just keep my mouth shut and keep moving. Like they don't fucking care.
No, those people don't
they don't fucking care at all.
In that
they're rich no matter what, so they don't care who's in charge.
Exactly.
It's like one big psych ward.
Yeah.
It's like a giant psych. It's like one flew over the cuckoo's nest. Like, if you're not,
exactly.
And that's why it's so fun and nice. Right. Okay.
But I do like the scene though, because I do think this is kind of what sold it for me was on her is that scene where they're walking through with the ice cream. And
I didn't. I really
gets caught touching the rock, the mountain, the top of the mountain that sticks up, and I actually like that scene because I really believed her in that. Like I really believed she was like into him a little bit. You know what I mean?
No, there was a chunk of me the whole time that was like, she can't be bad. She can't be bad. And then I'm like, no, she is.
Right.
Like,
I think that was definitely the moment that solidified it too. Like they purposely made that scene very nice and a bit romantic between them, and they were like,
and it's a fun scene. It really is a fun scene.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because he gets caught, by the little droid thing, and it's even like, don't let her, like it's all like this episode to me is 100% Clone Wars, 100% Filoni. Like it's all those little moments. There's a moment when they're walking into the cave, one of the caves or something, and this little bug like crawls up a rock right in front of the camera, like just little things like that. I was like, oh, this is Filoni all over it. Like that's Clone Wars, like so much.
No, that's interesting that you say that. No, now because honestly, I'm gonna rewatch it after this because I'm like I really did enjoy that episode, and I think there's more to it that I'm literally thinking of it as 2 different episodes. I'm like, wait, was that this episode? I'm like, oh, yeah, and then this one, but I just keep thinking of all the stuff on Coruscant, and normally in a show like this that would piss people off. No, it's kind of like 11 running to Chicago, and everybody was like, what the hell is happening here? We don't care about none of this. Like this,
I can understand why people wouldn't like this episode. Like I can understand it. I just, like I said, I think if Filoni, Filoni really well.
For me, I don't know
what he does.
It's not a matter of not understanding it, but the parts that carried it were so amazing. Like I said, the beginning scene, absolutely beautiful. Like the fighters, everything was great. And then to go into Coruscant with that speech, I feel like that was a very moving moment, and it was perfectly done. And then to just have that little storyline play out.
Wait a minute, too. There's a little part in there in the beginning. Sorry, there's a little part in there when they're still in the cave, right after he wakes up, and she's like, "Did you see anything when you were down there?" And he was like, "What are you talking about? I saw the chasm." And she was like, "No, did you see anything alive?" He's like, "Alive? No, I passed out."
No,
and then she's like, he's like, what did you see? And she's like, I didn't see anything. I was lying to him in that moment.
I love that because I was like, yeah, no, you're solidifying that her faith is restored.
maybe
I don't
that.
know.
Oh, I think so.
Mandalorian
Oh, I
stuff that
definitely
you
think
guys
so.
do.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, my mom said this about the last episode. She was like,
And her going in after him was on purpose. That was a story point that Filoni did on purpose because she
That
needed
was-
to be bathed again.
Right. No, that's why I was like, no, this is a baptism of sorts, just like the kid in the
Yep.
first episode. I'm like, I see what we're doing here. It's very cool. But what I really liked was her going underwater and seeing that. And I was like, because it doesn't attack her. It pulls Din down. It doesn't attack her, though. And so I was
No,
like,
I don't think it does. I think he
no,
literally just
they
slipped.
look eye to eye. And I was like, she's
Oh, yeah, no,
reborn.
but I don't think
and
it
this is
pulled him down.
No. Well, he says he
Oh.
falls.
I think he
remember.
I think he just
He
slipped.
says
Or-
he said I
yeah.
didn't think it was as deep as what it was, and
Oh,
then
he
she
really
said,
did fall? Okay. Because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
reacted
yeah.
on
I
it.
don't.
I reacted on Snapchat.
Oh,
was
I
like,
thought the
"Don't
same
make
thing
it
too.
well."
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
no, I thought the same thing too for sure.
Yeah,
and then
but
because
it, like,
of the bombings of Mandalore,
So-
and it made the like palm thing deeper than what it actually was.
Here's
so
what
he
I
pulled
think.
out.
Here's the
like a
reason
cord.
why she lied, I think. She lied because she's going to go down there and try and tame the fucking mythosaur and try and ride
Yeah,
it.
and
if
it's
she
definitely
does.
that's what I
That
mean.
she
Oh.
needs to be the ruler and true fucking ruler of Mandalore.
Dude, if we get
That
that
is what
Khaleesi
I was gonna
moment of
say,
her
this is
coming
a
out of that
Daenerys
cave on
moment.
the fucking mythosaur, oh my
Yeah.
god, I'm gonna lose my
'Cause
mind.
in
We're
the
gonna get
last
Khaleesi
episode,
moment.
I was like, in the last episode, it's like the dragons in Game of Thrones, it like accepts her, and it's like,
Yes,
okay, and I'm
look,
like, oh,
it had a
shit.
moment
Look,
with her.
Yeah.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
if they do
and then they
that,
go
man,
up,
come
and then I
on.
was like, oh shit. Mom said like he looks like he's struggling holding that saber, and I was like, oh yeah, it's kind of like a thing. And then
Oh yeah.
so I'm like,
Yeah.
she's not only seeing the saber work for her and stuff, but she has that encounter in
Well,
the
she's
mind.
also had
I
many
think
years with it. She had many
had
years
it
with it.
before.
So
it also woke up that like, oh my god, all this like religion, for lack of a better term, I thought was bullshit, is real. It's all real. And I loved seeing that reignited in her. And that was really
Oh.
cool. And I was really all about it. And it's like, yeah, she's realizing like the stories aren't bullshit. All this
Right.
is really a thing.
well,
and I really
when
like
she
that
was
a
telling
lot.
him the story in the last episode, she was like making like jokes about it, like sarcastically as hell about it. Like she was like, yeah, there was a mythical creature that everybody rode around and blah 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 blah. And he's just like, what are you talking about? Yeah, that happened. And she's like,
Do
yeah,
you
okay,
think-
whatever.
You guys
So,
And I
think
love
she-
that in this episode, he was like, I didn't see anything. What are you talking about? And so it's like she just had this moment alone with it. And I'm like, there it is. There we go. You're
that is
full
pretty
in
cool,
now.
actually, now that you
And
know
I
it.
thought
Do
it
you
was
think
really-
that she's going to stick to it? Do you think that she's actually going to stick
Yes.
to the creed?
Yes,
yeah,
I do.
because I think she believes now. I think she's like, oh shit, this is the
Yep.
we need to, this is the thing.
She's going to unite.
I-
I'm telling you, it's
I was
going to be
just
her and him
about
that rule
this.
Mandalore together.
I-
I guarantee
I was
it's
just
going to be
telling
her
one
and
of
him.
you guys, like, I wouldn't be trusting these wishy-washy assholes who dipped out on me. Like the second I couldn't hold the dark saber, I was like, I wouldn't trust none of it. So I liked her coming into this covert and having like her new people to be around. Because at first I was like, yeah, why would I want
Well-
those guys to come back? Like eventually, maybe, yeah, you come live on Mandalore, but you guys all ran the second I fell down. Why would I want you guys here? So now that she has a new crew, I'm like, I see what we're doing here, and I really like it.
So,
and I really
okay,
am sold on Bo-Katan
There
now.
is a
I
little bit
wasn't-
behind that story, though. There is a little bit behind that.
Okay,
so-
I should catch up on all that.
No, it's
I
okay.
need-
No, it's not. It's not really in.
Oh.
It's like you have to.
All
know
I'm saying
to
is I don't know much,
It's like
and
one
I
of
don't
those
know how
things
much
you have
is
to
in
deep
Clone
dive
Wars
for
and
to
stuff.
find it.
I don't know all the Clone Wars stuff. I don't know everything. I
Oh
need
no,
to
it's not
restart
even
it.
Clone War. It's just the dark saber itself, because it was created by Tar Vizsla, and because he left the Jedi Order to go back and rule Mandalore.
Okay.
The dark saber itself has an essence to it. So basically, it will only. The reason it doesn't work for Din is because he's still split as a Mandalorian. He doesn't believe in the
Well,
other
you got to be fully
Mandalorians.
committed.
Right, where
Okay.
Bo-Katan is a Mandalorian through and through. She wants to unite Mandalore. That's her true
Mhm.
focus, which is what Tar Vizsla's true focus was
Okay.
to unite Mandalore. So the dark
If
saber
that's your
will
true
follow
heart,
somebody
then
true
you're-
of heart, right? Basically,
Got it.
which is why Din can't wield it as well, because he's still split on being like, no, we're right, you're wrong.
Okay.
Where
got
even
it.
though
I
she
know
thinks
that
they're
there's more
wrong,
to this.
Even though she thinks they are wrong, she would still bring them in because they're Mandalorian.
Okay.
That's just how
Right.
she
Right.
is.
We're still going to accept you. Yeah. Okay. That
Right.
makes more sense now, because I didn't know if it was like, is there really a worthiness here or what until that? And I was like, oh, maybe there is. And there's a lot to this.
Yeah, it's
And I know there's
again,
more.
this is all stuff that has been written after the fact of stuff. So it is canon,
So-
but it's definitely like extra stuff that you have
Well,
to go
then
and
maybe you
find in,
can
like,
tell me
other
this.
stuff.
The one character I love the most since the Mandalorian first came out is the armorer. I love the armorer because
Mhm.
she's like a priestess of this culture. Like I always love that she never turns
Yeah.
from the forge because that's like their altar and she gets to make things at the forge. And I think that's sick. She definitely was banging a Jedi or something, right? She was somebody
Yes.
because there's no
I would have
way. I'm
Well,
just
a
saying,
lot
man,
of people think that
off
she is
rip, she's like,
actually
I know
Satine.
Jedi, I know their magic. And I'm like, you know too much about these people.
Yo,
You know-
if she's Satine, I'm
Yeah, people
losing
think
my
that she's
shit.
actually Satine.
If she is Satine, I'm calling it right now. I'm
She's
losing my
somebody.
fucking shit. That
She's
would
somebody
be
for
such
sure.
a fucking play. Oh my god.
I just
And
don't think
that's
it
what
would be Satine because I mean we saw Satine die, so I just don't think she could have came
But
back.
then why
from
do
that.
this to me? Why do this to me, Don?
No,
I'm
I'm just
sorry.
saying that's what
I
people
don't
are
know. I
saying,
don't
dude.
know
Nobody
who this is.
knows. I'll be honest. Nobody knows who the
Satine
armorer
was
is.
okay.
There's
so
nothing out
Satine
there about who she
was
is.
Obi-Wan's love interest, but she was also the ruler of Mandalore.
Oh, right. But she was more of a pacifist, why people didn't really follow her as much. Like she was
Hey,
more
But that
of
would
a-
make
work
sense
for
why she
you?
would be
Let's
in the
go make
Forge.
weapons now.
That would be
The whole
why she would
pacifist
make
didn't
forge
work.
and armor.
I don't know who this person
I don't
is.
know.
I just said so, but
I
I
don't know.
definitely like just watch the scene.
It's
where they
Bo-Katan's sister. It's
she
Bo-Katan's
immediately knows
sister.
what
She used to
Grogu
rule
is.
Mandalore.
She looks at Grogu and is like, "Yep, know exactly what that is. Know exactly what the Force is. Know exactly what Jedi are." And I'm like, I feel like that's not a common thing unless you've been around it at this point. But like I said, I don't know everything, so I'm like, but I think she's somebody she knew or was just friends with. They could just do it in a line of dialogue and go, "She
Yeah, oh, she's
was in
been
the
around,
temple
so
and
she
that."
would know about it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, she would.
Yeah, you
definitely
could
know
do it,
about
but I'm like, she's
Mhm.
somebody. She's
I
somebody.
mean, she's not like 20
important.
years old. She's got to be underneath of there. She's got to be 30s, 40s, I would assume.
I
So
would
she-
see.
So
To
she
me, I
would
think it's like 50s, 60s almost, to be honest. Like
maybe,
she's
and she could be right. So she was around when the Empire, before the Empire, she was around during Clone Wars. Then, if she's that old,
That's what I would
So-
imagine.
right? So then she's definitely seen and talked to Jedi. I would assume, yeah.
How
So,
big
I mean,
is Mandalore? Isn't Mandalore
Well-
like a set of planets? It's not one planet.
Well,
right?
Mandalore, there's the core planet, which is where they go to. That's Mandalore, and then the outer moons are planets also, basically. Where
Got it.
That's
That's why he
one of the
says I'm
moons is
from
where
that
they're
moon.
hiding. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, where
okay.
she stays is where she stays is in that system too. The place they bombed in
Got
the
it.
beginning is also in that system. That's
Okay.
where they all
I'm just
went.
thinking. I got
all
it in my head.
scattered.
I'm like, okay, that's the capital city, and then we go over here, and then I'm like, okay. But one thing I am going to
Yeah.
complain about, I need more Carl Weathers. Just point blank. Period. Just
I
anything.
think we're going to get more. I definitely think we're going to get more Carl Weathers. Yeah, for
Carl
sure. I think we're
Weathers
definitely going
automatically
back there.
elevates anything. That's a
Yeah.
rule in my life. Carl Weathers automatically elevates anything he's in, and I
Yeah.
want more.
I
of him.
think
I
we're going
loved
to
him
get.
in Folders.
I hate to say it in an 8-episode season, but I definitely think we're going to get that episode where he has to go back and save him from the pirates.
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
For
We're
Yeah.
definitely getting that. We're definitely getting that episode for sure.
Do you think they're going to bring IG-11 back?
I hope not.
so.
Actually, really,
I
you don't
don't
want
know.
him back? I kind of like. I
I
like
feel
his
like it was
sacrifice,
great.
man. I love his sacrifice.
No,
dude.
100%.
It's so
But
good.
I want like another version of him.
Dude,
because
once he
of
turns
the-
into the nurse droid, he is so awesome. He is so awesome as the nurse droid, dude.
That's what
I
I'm
just
saying,
I
dude.
don't want it to get
I
played
need
out. I don't want it. I don't know. I guess
I
a
want
different
it to
version.
at least be like a fucking
I want
scene
it,
where
but-
he finally comes back at the fucking
I'm
final
just-
fight. And
You
he's
know
just
why I
there
don't want
like, I gotta protect my baby. And then fucking Grogu's just
Do you know why I don't want it?
like, oh, he doesn't
You know
need
what?
protecting.
I'm going to tell you one word of why I don't want it.
Oh god.
Palpatine. I'm so sick of
yeah.
every character coming back. Like, just
Oh,
freaking kill
God.
a character. Just like I'm so expecting for like the new Star Wars movie, wherever it is going to have Vader in it somehow. Like Vader's just going to be like, I'm still alive. Like, and I'm just going to be like, oh, like
They need
that's
to
what I'm
stop.
worried about. Like, I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of it. Like everybody's talking about. Like, I love Mace Windu, one of my favorite characters too. If they bring Mace Windu back, I'm going to fucking lose it. I'm going to literally.
You know
lose
that's at
it.
the top of their whiteboard. You know at the
Oh,
top
it
of
is
their
because
whiteboard.
he wants to come back.
How do
He
we
wants to
get
come
But,
back
like,
so bad.
You're not curious at all if anything has happened to him. Like you're not even the
but here's
slightest
the
bit like,
problem. Here's the problem that it brings every time they bring one of these characters back. Okay, because in episode 3 they destroyed, or between episode 3 and 4, they destroyed every Jedi out there. Now all of a sudden, Ahsoka was alive, Mace Windu was alive,
Ahsoka
Yoda was alive,
Jedi.
Luke was alive. All these
Ahsoka
Jedi
hadn't
were alive,
ordered the Jedi.
and nobody helped at all. Nobody cared at
That's
all
fair.
about Vader and Palpatine. Only Luke showed. Dude, again, we've talked about this before, but how freaking awesome would it have been if Luke and Ahsoka walked into that throne room like, "What's up? Y'all want to fight? Palpatine,
Oh,
Vader, you want to fight? Like, let's go. Come on, Vader. You're going to fight your old Padawan. You're going to fight your son too. Let's go. Let's do this right now. Come on, man. That's such a better. But again,
That would have been cool.
Ahsoka wasn't even a character when they wrote episode 6, so we'll never get it, or never could have got it. But I hate when they add these characters in that I love so much, like Ahsoka, because then now I never get that scene that should have absolutely happened. For no reason, it didn't happen at this point. For no reason at all.
She's a great character.
Oh,
Right. Like, and she's Vader's Padawan. How would she not be with Luke at that point? Come on.
Right, yeah. No, that's fair.
It
That is fair.
doesn't-
And honest, man, her introduction, that was
Please just
sick.
stop messing with the timeline and the original story, and just give me better stories in the timeline. Like, that's all I want. Just give me better stories.
Yeah.
Give me better
That's
stuff
fair.
in this. Because again, I don't understand where Ahsoka was for 15 years. Like, there's like 15 years where she just disappears, and it's like,
I will say
why?
I didn't mind, like, when last season of Mandalorian aired, when everybody's like, "Oh, who's it going to be?" Like I said, my mom's a Trekkie. She don't know. She just knows the basics, the bare minimum for Star Wars, and she was just like, "It's Luke, it's Luke." And I was like, "They're not just going to give us Luke. There's no way."
Luke.
And I really
always
loved him coming back. I did love his entrance. That was sick. I thought that was really well done. But I feel like we might need to comment more on once you introduce that they're around. I get that he's on his planet making his school, but I'm like, I feel like you guys need to have more dialogue about these things now and be like, well, what about you been out on Luke Skywalker, Grogu? I don't know. Like,
I want a three or four episode, hour-long episode of just Luke and Ahsoka talking. That's all I want. Just them two talking.
Isn't there? I loved in that one episode from last season when she said, "I'm a family friend." I'm like, that's adorable. That was really adorable. I really loved that.
So great. So many little lines.
Is Ahsoka getting her own show? She's getting her own series, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's basically Rebels season 6 or 5.
That's the crazy part about this is like, yeah, like you said, we're kind of all over the place. So just make it good within whatever time period you want to pick. I love Qui-Gon. I just want to see Qui-Gon do anything, but I also don't know what I'm talking about.
I got another one for you.
unfortunately.
What if Obi-Wan shows up with Ahsoka to fight Vader?
Well, that's why I'm like, I thought there would be a crossover there already. I really did. I thought in Obi-Wan they would, but then they did Obi-Wan so well. But I think they wanted it just those two. And I really liked it a lot.
Oh, no, I get that. Don't get me wrong. I understand that completely. Yeah. But she's there. She's alive. She's doing stuff. She's doing something.
She's doing
stuff. How does she not feel this huge tremor in the Force of her old Padawan or her old master and his master fighting in the middle of nowhere? How does she not feel that?
They incorporate all of that in Rebels backlore, because I can't wait to see Thawne and fucking not Thawne. Oh yeah, Thawne and Ezra, because I need to know what the fuck happened to them.
Because I was gonna say this Thrawn is a big deal, and he's coming too. Okay, where were we in the Mandalorian?
Dude, when she said it in the last season, I almost lost my mind. When she said, "Where's your master? Where's Thrawn?" I was like, "Oh shit!" Because I love Rebels. That's one of my favorites.
Oh yeah. So my coworker texted me and he was like, "Thrawn is a big deal. You need to know who Thrawn is." And I was like,
"You do."
Got it. I was like, "Got it.
Yeah,
I'm on it." No, but where did we leave off in this episode?
He's the only alien ever allowed into the Empire.
This episode, I think, was honestly lit tits.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking loved it, every second of it.
What did you like?
Oh man, this is so great.
The only thing I didn't like, Don made a comment of it.
I'm sorry, Noah.
It's all good. It's all good, man.
We've just been ranting about. I love it.
I know. I'm just I'll just know.
No, you're good. It's all good.
he said that the side panel when you actually looked at the fighter, or not the fighter, the ship that they were going on to looked so janky.
I thought it was cool.
Like,
it was a cool
wing
shot.
part,
Don't get me
the
wrong. It was a
wing
cool
part
shot.
and everything was like, but I'm talking about when they're first going up to it, it just looked so.
It looks CGI. It does.
Yeah, like you
does
could
look
tell.
finished.
Now
That's
let me
all.
ask this: was this the same ship that they worked on? No, or yes?
Oh, I don't think it was the same ship. No.
Okay, because that's
I
the
just
part.
I just think it's just been a long time since they've seen one up close like that. That's
Yeah.
all. I think it's just been a long time.
I get caught up on like dumb shit sometimes. Well, a lot of the time. And one of those things was when they said, "How do we get out of here?" And I was like, "You worked on here. You worked on this ship. Like, what do you mean? How do we get out of here? Don't you guys know your ship?" And so if it was a different one, I'm like, okay, whatever. But I'm like, I also could have looked away.
Oh, they would
and
still
not
be very similar though. They would.
Oh,
yeah, they're like, where do we
Yeah.
go? And I'm like, I thought you worked here forever. What are you talking about? But
I
that
can't
like
imagine
irritated
like
me.
each one
That's
was
a dumb
different.
thing. Yeah, but nothing like made me mad about this episode besides a little bit of the pacing. I thought a few things could get cut down.
Sure.
But other than that, I'm like, no, this was a really well done episode. And then when we went back to the Mandalorian stuff, that was
It was
awesome.
a nice way to end it. They started it with it, ended it with it. It was a nice like ribbon tie for me. It was well done.
Because I kept expecting the Mandalorian to pop up and harm this guy for hurting Grogu or whatever, and now I'm like, no, I think we saw what the Republic is capable of doing. I don't think we're going to go back to this Doctor much, maybe as a character, but maybe his work will be referenced more, but not like him. I think he might be done for a while. But
they might bring him back for one scene just to show that he's like, because they fried his brain.
He's definitely a vegetable now. He is definitely
that was
a vegetable.
so sad. I was like, oh my god, this is horrible. This is terrible.
I did like him. I really did like him as a character, honestly.
Yeah, even when he was getting Grogu blood in the other seasons, it's like we didn't know him, but we were like, oh, you're not.
But he was always trying to save Grogu. Though he was always like on Grogu's side, so I don't think he was ever a threat. I think
he's just like the side of science, and then it's just you got
he's just a scientist. He really believes what his work is doing is good. He really believes that. Like I really think he believes that.
I felt bad for him. And then how do we go when we go back to the Mandalorian? It's just him saying like, "Be cool. We're gonna go see my crew."
Yeah,
and I thought
he's like, if you leave the helmet on, that would be really cool.
When they all came walking out of the cave, that was so cool. That was so sick. That was so awesome. Just that silhouette was so cool to see. All of them together was so cool to see. I really loved all of that. We need to get more Beskar going around.
Oh god.
And with all these Mandalorians in this, if Boba Fett doesn't at least make an appearance, I'm gonna be so mad. Like so mad. If he doesn't at least make an appearance.
Honestly,
Din's got to go to him and be like, "Hey, dude, we're gonna reform Mandalore. You want to join?" And he's gonna be like, "Nah, I'm cool. Like I'm good."
Well, then
like,
we can have the hot Sopranos show. That's all I want. I want a Tony Sopranos Jabba the Hutt show or Hutt alone.
I can go on for an hour about that. I really can. I can go on an hour about that shit because that whole Boba Fett series needed to be him being a Godfather-esque character and just coming in and saying, "Fuck you."
Taking over the 5 families. I'm like, why are we doing this more? This is all I want. But I don't know why I love Jabba the Hutt, but I do. But I really want that to happen. I would love to see Boba Fett tell the whole crew, like, no, I'm straight. I don't want to get involved.
Yeah.
Or show up with his
technically
own.
Right now, he wouldn't be a Mandalorian right now.
No.
Because he is definitely removed.
Okay, he just has his stuff is more of an heirloom.
Yeah, he wears the suit. Yeah, he only wears the suit because his dad.
Did anybody watch Deadwood? Because my mom and I just rewatched Boba Fett and the end of. We did like the last half of season 2 of Mandalorian, but the guy Sheriff Van. Yeah, he plays a sheriff in Deadwood, and I loved seeing him return as that character too. And I'm like, I don't know if he counts as out dead, but I think he is. But I noticed that they never really state it in the show. Like he goes down from a blaster, but he doesn't like. They just never
at
say
the end
anything.
At the end of Boba Fett, they show him in the back of tank. In the background.
Oh, do they? Okay, good. Because I want to see him because there's a couple really good. Like we were saying, utilize your characters, Star Wars world. Utilize your characters correctly and accordingly. Stop bringing people back from the dead. Use your characters accordingly. do the right thing
Yeah.
here. But no, this episode,
Yeah.
I really was kind of bored of, not bored. I love the Mandalorian, but I was like, I'm here. I wasn't totally sold on Bo-Katan. This episode sold me on Bo-Katan, and this episode made me excited for it again. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of like, and now I'm like, no, I'm excited. I'm excited to see where we're going now. How many episodes are this season?
8.
It'll be 8, yeah.
So we have 6 more to figure out where this story is going.
5 more.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 5. That's right.
Yeah,
I really want to count the first 2 as one.
I know. It should have been. It is what it is, but it should have been. You're right.
And they were short, like extremely, right? Like
Yeah,
they
they
were
were
like
like
31
30,
minutes.
35 minutes each. Yeah.
And then this one was almost a goddamn hour.
Mm-hmm.
I thought my TV glitched. I was like, "There's no way this is 53 minutes." Are you? I was like, "There's this." I was like, "2 of them doubled up, or something's wrong here." Like I really thought that, and then I was like, "Oh, never mind." And that's kind of when I realized, "Oh, we are spending way too much time doing little dumb things." But overall, I like these little dumb things, and I'm having a good time seeing Coruscant, so I don't mind them.
Yeah.
But I kept waiting for the Mandalorian to pop up, and then I was like, "Oh." And I thought that the practical designs for creatures was really well done in this one too. There was a lot of practical stuff.
Yeah, the some of the accents and people talking, the aliens talking threw me off. The one alien I don't know, he was like almost like southern. He's like, you
It's
Can we
always
just talk
funny.
about
huh?
the one thing that they fucking did with what is General Akbar's race?
They're the
Squid people.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I remember.
All
I
together.
can't remember. But
not
we just-
Kaminoans, the calamari.
Can we just acknowledge the fact that he looked over to that race and said it was a trap?
Did he really?
Oh,
Yes!
I missed it. Oh, I missed it. Oh,
No one
I
realized
missed
that.
it.
He looked
Oh,
over at him
no.
and he was just like, it was a trap.
How did I miss it? Oh,
Oh
how
my
did I
God,
miss it?
he
Well,
does
technically,
say
he's
that.
still alive. It could be Akbar. He's still alive because he's in episode
Oh,
7,
he
8, 9.
does say that.
Well,
You're
9.
right. That's funny.
Dude,
Oh my
that's
God.
so
that's
I
cool.
was
funny.
If it's
watching
Akbar,
and
that'd
that
be
sent
awesome.
me off. I couldn't take that scene as seriously as I wanted to at the
Oh.
moment because I was just dying laughing.
That's
No,
great.
I'm
yeah.
like, how
I
the
didn't- oh my
fuck did
God,
you
that is
throw
funny.
that in?
No, I missed that too. I honestly missed that. Damn.
That's a good one.
Damn,
Now, are we
that's a
getting?
good catch.
Now, I almost called Obi-Wan Leia. What am I doing? We're getting another season of Obi-Wan, right? And that's when. I just want more of this to come out next to
I
each
don't
other.
know. If we are, they'll announce it at Celebration. I think.
Oh yeah,
That's
yep,
when they'll
yep.
announce it. I think they also might be announcing Boba Fett at the end of this season, like they did.
Do you guys really think he's going to show up this season?
I hope so.
I think
so.
he has to. They tied the 2 shows together in the last show, so.
Oh, I hope we
Yeah.
don't get a Boba Fett episode though. We cannot get a Boba Fett episode.
I
I
agree
don't
with
think
that.
so
That would
because
that
I
would
think
piss me off.
Mandalorian was at the time a more popular character than Boba
Yeah.
Fett,
Oh,
which is why they threw him in there.
Yeah. All right,
Okay.
guys. Well, I think that. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say my
Go ahead.
one question: if you could bring, if at the end of this, there's one
Yeah.
there's one character that they bring back, not new, but they bring back in, who would you want it to be?
In this,
That's already been in the Mandalorian. That can be Luke, whoever.
Oh,
'Cause
Luke.
I
yeah, it would be Luke.
I
It would be
really,
Luke.
really.
I want to see more
think-
Moff.
Oh, yeah. Nope, you're right.
Actually,
I was going
probably
to say
for me-
Ahsoka.
I was gonna say Ahsoka, probably not. Yeah. I think
No,
about it,
you're
probably
right.
Ahsoka.
Now it's Moff Gideon.
I
I don't
I think
see.
he's definite though, because he's already Esposito's
He's
been
casted.
confirmed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been
Oh,
confirmed.
okay,
for
then
this
never
season.
mind. We won't count him. But
yeah,
no,
he's
I
definitely
love
coming
Dustin
back. We
Hoffman.
just don't know how he's coming back yet. That's the only thing.
Yeah,
So,
and go back and rewatch this episode and listen to the way he's talking to her about making a mobile lab, and you're going to be like, "Oh my god, this sounds really familiar." Because that's how
Yeah.
the whole time I was like, "You're pulling a Gail Bedecker. You're a sneaky rat. Who's the next best scientist lurking around the corner?"
dude,
And
as
then
long
it-
as this
But
show
thank you guys for
never
having me
shows
on
a,
so much.
as long as this show never shows a failed Snoke, I will be fine, I guess. But I'm so
That's
tired
what I
of
don't
cloning.
want. I don't want.
So tired of cloning.
No, I don't want that. And thank you guys for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
that I'm like,
Oh,
no,
nerdy and
absolutely.
It's horrible.
That was a lot of
don't
fun.
even-
All right, guys. I think we're gonna
Yeah.
wrap it up there, though. Any last thoughts, guys, on anything? Bad Batch or Mandalorian?
Bad Batch.
I think I'm going to catch up on that. I'm going to try to.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
And then
You guys are like, it's horrible.
No,
No, I mean,
want
look,
you
it's
to
not.
actually
No, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
catch up,
For
come
sure.
back on and let us know your opinions. I want to know if you
Yeah,
have the
absolutely.
same thoughts as I do.
You might love it.
Okay.
You might love it. Yeah.
That's fair. I'll try it. I'll try.
I mean, that is what we talked about earlier. That's one of the great things about Star Wars. It's subjective. You can like and hate whatever you want in Star Wars. It doesn't matter.
Well, that really is like
Doesn't
one of the most
matter.
interesting. It's probably the most interesting fandom because of the prequels coming out and that fandom, like me getting older and being like, no, we like these. You know what I mean? I got worried when we saw the Senate. I was like, oh shit, not the Senate. I was like, what are we doing? And I kind of panicked for a minute, and then I was like, oh, we're good. We're not going back, whatever. But seeing these two differing fandoms of the same thing come together and now still continue is kind of crazy and really cool. Where before it was like, they suck. These are great. Now there's more in between there. And it's one of the only fandoms I can think of that's like that. And I love Star Wars. It's great.
Yeah. No, that's true.
If I don't get the Jabba the Hutt Sopranos prequel, what was this all for?
Exactly. Jabba the Hutt.
What am I here for?
Straight up.
All right, guys. Thank you again for joining us on Jedi Academy. Guys, let them know where they can find you at, Padawan Frito.
You can find me on Padawan Padawan Tweeter.
Tweeter?
Padawan Frito on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. Catch me here on the Weekly Geekdom Uncut, and Jedi Academy. And yeah, that's about it.
Noah, go ahead, sir.
You can find me here on Jedi Academy and our Sunday night shows.
Yep. Absolutely.
I'm
Yes, Abby,
Motor
go
City
ahead.
Nerds. Oh, yep, that's me. Sorry. I'm way ahead and screwing things up as usual. But I'm Abby. I have Motor City Nerds on YouTube. I'm Abby Anarch on everything else. Yeah. I yell about movies and dragons and just whatever I'm feeling like that week sometimes. But yeah, I'm over on YouTube, and thank you guys again for having me on. It was very nice. It was fun.
Definitely. Yes. It was awesome having you on. Yeah, no. Been watching some of your stuff, and yeah, no, you have a cool thing.
You're like,
going
you're
on there,
losing your
so we
mind.
love it.
What is wrong with this woman?
Oh, I think we all are though, so that's fair.
You know,
But yeah.
just losing our minds, yelling about made up stuff on the internet. It's a good time.
But no, John and Frenchie always talk highly about you, so I was like, yeah, why not? So,
Oh, they're sweet.
oh, there
If it wasn't for John, I wouldn't be. I don't even know why John reached out to me. Honestly, I'm like, anybody wants to do anything with me, but I'm glad he did because now I meet all you guys and it's awesome. It's fun.
Yeah, it's good having you.
Definitely, yeah.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us on Jedi Academy. Oh, I'm sorry. You can find me at Twitter on on Twitter at Jedi Master Tuck. Yep, that's what I said. Please look up the Multiverse of Geekdom Twitter, guys, and also the Titans of the Turf Twitter, guys.
Titans of the
Sunday
Turf.
night is the draft. Don't miss that. 6 p.m. Eastern live. That's going to be
We
amazing.
are very excited about that.
Yes. But guys, please hit that like subscribe button. We are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and we will see you guys next time. May the Force be with you all.